Make it make sense. Could somebody please make it make sense?
Big Mims.
Surfer.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
What's up, everybody? Oh my gosh, I could not do this Megan and Torey video. And so much is going on with Megan telling lies, Torey telling lies, Kelsey telling lies. And then I look to see everybody's fans, and everybody's fans have taken a side. So I was like, I have to come on. I have to do this video. I've been listening to the people that are firsthand there. We got Mob Radio. She's there giving a play-by-play to DJ Academics. We got, I think his name is Dennis Byron, whose stuff is getting used so much, he's threatening to sue the YouTubers and the blogs. It is a whole lot going on with Megan and Torey. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I was like, okay, I got to do this. I got to do it as a panel so that other people can come up and tell me what they think. But I got like all of the facts so far. I was taking notes, y'all. I was like literally taking notes. DJ, to be honest with you, I had never watched DJ Academics until today. It was a little weird. He was like eating on camera, like smacking. I was like, what is this? Where do they do that at? What I want to start off by saying is yes, we now know that Megan did lie to Gail King. We do know that. She told Gail King in this interview that she and Torey did not have any type of romantic relationship. Everybody remembers this interview. It happened not too long after everything kind of like blown up. And Gail asked her point blank. It sounds like the defense is trying to take Megan lying and saying that she and Torey did not have a, how do I say that? Type of relationship and wrapping it into like a nice, she's a liar kind of package. And I don't know that that's fair. First off, for all the people who are trying to like shame her for having, multiple partners, y'all did too. The men did too. So I'm not quite understanding how Megan is solely being vilified for this. It might just be me. But yes, she lied. And we're going to get into, when the panel comes up or whatever, we'll get into why she lied or why she should not have lied. But let's start with the facts. So TMZ ran it, and they actually have a lot of the same things that I did. So this was just, let me put this up to share with you guys. So it's saying that this is like a play-by-play. Let's start from the earlier ones. It says, not everyone is back in the Megan train, though. As she walked into court, one person shouted, "Why you lying on that boy?" No reaction from Meg. As we reported, Torey's trial kicked off Monday with both sides laying out what they say happened the night Meg was allegedly pow-powed in the foot. Prosecutors clearly say Torey pulled the trigger, while Torey's attorneys have laid out alternative theories, including pointing out some possible fighting between Kelsey and Meg that night. Meg had a bunch of fans in her corner too, with a group of her supporters holding up banners and signs and even wearing shirts that say, "We stand with Meg." And wow, these people are a little bit old. Guys, it has really turned into a support black women, support black men. It's turned in, it's taken a turn. What's up, Dr. M? You're on mute. You got to unmute your mic. But while we're waiting on Dr. M. So it has, let's see. It
Hi,
says,
sorry.
oh, no, you're fine. Megan Thee Stallion is in court for the second day of the Torey Lanez shooting trial, letting cameras know she's feeling as her fans cheer her on outside the building. Meg stepped into the DTLA courthouse, giving thumbs up when asked how she was doing. The rapper also asked if she's nervous about the trial, but shakes her head at that one. So we got to give it to Meg. She did look good. Let me see if I got the picture. Not looking like Gary Coleman. What's up, Legally Leah? Meg did look really good. But what I thought was surprising was that Torey showed up with his kid. Like, I've never really seen. Now, I'm not like the biggest Torey fan, but I've never really seen him. I mean, as what we're hearing is he's all around town, screwing the young ones, like the starlets and stuff like that. But now we got your kid in tow. Is this even subject matter that a kid should be listening to? Kadi, Dr. M?
Yeah, I don't know why you would bring a child to a court case, really any court case that didn't directly involve them, but then one where, your father may possibly have pow someone. Like, what is this, a father-son outing? This is weird.
I mean, I'm sure it's this way the jury. The jury is comprised of 8 women, 4 men, and I believe 4 of them are African American.
Yeah, but if I'm looking at it like that, how is this? What is this saying? I'm such a family man that I bring my child to a pow case? Like, this doesn't make sense.
Going on?
Yeah, I think he only did it to endear himself.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Something's going on with my earpiece.
Oh.
Give me 1 second.
Well, while he does that, you go, Dr. M.
Oh yeah, so I think he's just doing that to endear himself to the jury and make it seem like he's all the family man. He would never want to do that, do what he's accused of. That's number one. Number two, unless the case is related to a child, I don't think children should be in a courtroom, unless they're there to give witness a statement or something like that. And even with that, I know most of the times lawyers or judges would rather have a recording, be it audio or video of the child's statement. So I think it's very weird that this whole thing, he took his child to the courtroom, it's just weird.
Dr. M, I think there might be a little beeping. Are you able to come back in?
Yes. Let me try.
Okay. Yeah, let's try that. Go out and then come back in and see if the beeping is gone. Okay.
Yep. That's...
So let's just get into it. This is the big breaking news. Hey, Tracy.
Hey, boo.
Okay, so y'all, this is what they're saying it happened. An accurate event. Megan was at a party at Kylie Jenner's house. She was really drunk. Her friend Kelsey was drunk and passed out. Torey Lanez was not invited to this party, and so Megan invited him. They're at the party, but at the party, even though Torey is sleeping with Megan and her best friend Kelsey, he is also trying to push up on Kylie Jenner. This infuriates drunk Meg. If you remember, I mean, you probably don't, but here's a picture of them at the party. You could tell from the way that Megan was speaking to him directly that he was really getting on her nerves. At some point, Kylie then says to Megan, "You got to go," because Megan was causing a scene. So they all rush to get Megan into her car with the driver and Kelsey to get her back home. Megan does not want to leave because Megan says Torey needs to come with her. Torey, however, wants to stay so that he can get at Kylie. So the driver takes Megan and Kelsey almost all the way back home before Megan says, "No, I forgot something." So then the driver has to double back to Kylie's house with Megan and Kelsey in tow. The driver gets out to go get whatever Megan has left and Torey. Torey is still in the pool with Kylie. Torey then decides to leave because Megan is saying she will not leave the house without him. While in the car ride, now this is where it gets a little dicey and the story kind of jumbles up. On the car ride, Megan is going off and Kelsey is defending her. Then allegedly Megan starts taking shots at Torey Lanez rapping. Y'all following?
Yes.
Torey then says, "Why are you," to Kelsey, a woman he is sleeping with, "why are you defending Meg when Meg has slept with me? Meg has slept with the baby, which Kelsey had also slept with, and Meg has slept with Ben Simmons, who Kelsey had also slept with." So basically, Megan is going and sleeping with all of the men, these like wealthy, celebrity men that her friend is also bagging. So this is where it gets dicey. They're saying that Meg wants out of the car. Megan gets out of the car, and then a fight ensues with her and Kelsey. Torey says that he was trying to break up the fight and get Kelsey back in the car. Kelsey says that Torey shot Meg. Where y'all at so far with this story? Because it's a lot.
For starters, why are we sharing men? Look, I don't like none of my friends enough to be doing the same guys. Like that's not gonna happen. So that's disgusting. I know it don't have anything to do with the case, but gross. As for look, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if it was Torey or Kelsey that did it, really. I know Torey has a history of violent tendencies towards people. But
he does have multiple cases. The most recent being him assaulting Jada Pinkins.
August
Alsina when August didn't shake his hand. So he does have a history of violence, in all fairness. And I think there was something else that he had done as well.
Right. Well, didn't they find residue? Gunpowder residue?
Well, yeah, I'm going to get to that, but I'm just trying to get everybody's opinion about what I've said so far.
Okay.
Tracy, do you want to jump in?
I don't understand why this leprechaun is still here and why we haven't deported him back to Canada. I mean, send him to America's Hat and we all could be done with this. At the end of the day, why is he here? Just send him on. He can make music anywhere. He don't need to be here. Send him back. Let him go terrorize up there. My problem with this case is, why does who any of them sleeping with matter outside of the three of them? Because what it sounds like is, I'm going to slut shame you and people are going to look at you crazy, because now all I'm hearing about is, oh, Meg was sleeping with this person, Meg was sleeping with that person, you was sleeping with this person behind this person. And I was like, but isn't this because he shot her? So it's like we get off track with the slut shaming to talk about, oh, well, do this. Now, again, if you single, you could sleep with everybody, because that ain't none of my business.
And they all were, right? They all were sleeping with.
But here's the thing: is that any different than anybody else in Hollywood? They do it all the time. That little group of people, You see them pass themselves around all the time. That's just what they do. Apparently, they stick within they little cliques and groups, and that's what they do. I mean, Kylie Jenner has slept with what? 5, 6, 8 people you could think of. I mean, wasn't she with Travis at the time that you was letting itty bitty push up on you?
Oh, Dr. M, I
So,
think that noise is back. So whenever you're not
um,
talking, just make sure to mute yourself, okay?
so I'm just saying, is it so out of the ordinary that she would do it? No, because they all do it. It's not like she's the only person to do it. I mean, as much as people want to talk, Lori Harvey done slept with how many of the industry? It's normal for them. So do I care that you went through and sleep with a bunch of people in the industry? Not really, because they all do it. So do we call everybody out for sleeping with a bunch of people throughout the industry? I mean,
I think
why is this
that
different?
traditionally and historically, what happens is if a man does it, nobody really cares. We got him with. We see now he has a baby. He's sleeping with Kelsey. He's sleeping with Torey was sleeping with Kelsey. He was sleeping with Megan. He was trying to get with Kylie, and I'm sure the list goes on. But nobody seems to care about that. It's
So that's
just
my thing.
putting bodies on Megan.
We care because it's her, but we don't care because it's him. Because say what you want, he has to agree to be passed around too. Like, you're agreeing to pass yourself around in this friend group, which is, to me, that's their business. They grown. If they want to share and swap and hop bed to
Not
bed
swap.
and lay and play, I mean, they all consenting adults, so I don't care. Now, as as long as everybody is of age, have fun. Y'all could share and swap and trade places. All y'all feel, which is good in y'all little hearts. Have fun. I think we're now like, oh, but she slept with this person. So I'm like, okay, but didn't just yesterday talk about how Tory Lanez had punched Kelsey in the face, and on the phone call he apologized for punching her and acting a fool. So it's like we're getting away from that to talk about who she's sleeping with, but he just assaulted a woman in a car. But that's glossed over now for Meg sleeping with everybody. Huh?
Amelia, you're in the stream twice. So let me tell you, because I've been listening to both sides, right? What they are saying is Megan specifically requested that interview with Gail King. So this was her decision to do the interview, and then in the interview, she lied. So they are building their case on she lies to the public in order to sway public opinion. I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just giving you all sides. So I do think that it probably was a bad move. First off, if there's any litigation or you have impending litigation, don't do an interview, especially if you're going to have to eventually talk about it in court, which is what happened today. In the courtroom today, she had to admit that she did have an intimate relationship with Torey Lanez. So it gives credibility to his story that those two girls were fighting, and that is why Kelsey shot her. Does that make any sense? Hey, Millie, you want to jump in? Okay. I mean, we see you. You're up here, Millie. I see that you're not muted, but for some reason we can't hear you. So somebody said Ben Simmons denied even knowing Kelsey. Now, when we're talking about laying and playing and a little grouping of people doing all this, Ben Simmons was also dating Kylie's sister, Kendall.
Yeah, I get where Tory's trying to say that because he was, sexual with both of these women, that they may have been fighting over him, and then that's why Kelsey did it. I get that from trying to build up the narrative that, hey, it wasn't me, they was fighting over me. So I get that point of view. I don't know if that was true, that they were fighting over him. Maybe, I don't know. But Who did it? No.
Y'all, we only got about like 40 likes. So we got about 124 people here. Let's try to get to at least 100 likes. That's how my video gets pushed out. Millie?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Sorry about that. I've got like 3 different apps open up for some weird reason. I don't know what's going on with my iPad. But nice to speak to you guys. I always watch your show all of the time and stuff.
Oh, we can
So-
barely hear you. Would you mind speaking up just a little bit?
Can you hear me now? Is that better?
We can hear you, but it's low.
Yeah, what it is I think it's my headphones because it's like 11:07 in the UK, so I'm speaking quite low. I'm not shouting at all. It's the night time, it's not during the day. So I don't know if you can hear me clearly, but there's something wrong with my iPad and my headset. But what I wanted to really say is, there seems to be a lot of bullying around her. Like people don't believe that it actually happened to her, that she's making it up. And that
We
she's
can
actually-
barely hear you. Would you mind, like, it might be your earphones, but would you mind, like, talking up? Like, even if it sounds crazy to you, if you talk louder, it'll sound good to us.
What I'll do is I'll change my headphones and see if that works. I'll put in my other headphones. So I'll just log off and then log back in. Give us 1 second.
Okay.
All right,
So
thank you.
Kadi was bringing up the fact that, where was the gun residue? Gun residue was found on both Kelsey and Torey. So the defense is saying it's not admissible because it was found on both of them.
Yeah, that's not true. It's not admissible. You only get residue on your hands if the weapon was fired. So
Yes, but it was on both of their hands, both Kelsey and Torey.
So then they both handled a weapon that had just been fired.
Right. So it becomes he said, she said. So there's no eyewitness to say who shot. He's saying Kelsey shot and she's saying he shot. So the defense is like
Yeah, I mean, I can get the confusion of it, but we know one of them did because they the only two with the residue, so one of them did it. So, nah, I ain't gonna say take them both down, but I mean, one of them clearly is guilty. Maybe both. I don't know. How many shots was it? 3? Maybe
so
both.
they're saying the prosecution opened with dance bits dance and then acknowledged quietly that Megan slept with him. First words in their opening statement was dance bitch dance. And then they moved to the ring camera audio. So the audio was just of shots fired. The defense had said that they had, ring cam footage, which made people think that they had video footage, but it was only audio. They played Torey's voicemail. And this is when he was in jail. He had been booked for this. And he apologizes to Kelsey, saying, I'm sorry you may never speak to me again. But he did not make any admission that anything happened. Then there was some body cam footage, and it's Kelsey saying, I'm hyperventilating. And Torey is saying to her, they don't know what happened. It will be okay. Tracy, I know you have some thoughts.
Why is he here? Deport him already. I don't understand why we are having this conversation. Again, I don't understand. But let's start from the beginning. Fine, y'all were in close proximity and a gun went off. Okay, fine. Well, you know who didn't? The only person who got shot is this one person. Between the two of y'all, fine. Y'all want to toss it up and fight to say who shot who? Fine, y'all can go ahead and fight that out between the two of y'all. But I'm gonna go with the person who got shot. If the person who got shot told me that this person did it, then that leans a little more towards that person. Now, again, my statement is going to be biased from the fact that I am not a Torey Lanez fan. I'm not really a Megan fan, but I'm definitely not a Torey Lanez fan. When she was talking about his music was trash and all of that. Could I see him getting upset and going pow pow dance bitch dance? Could I see him doing it? Yeah, the same way we watched August not shake his hand, and then he with his little leprechaun butt over there, telling some, oh, we gonna go talk to him, and ran up on August. I can just
True.
based off of his past actions and how he escalates something that seems so minor to make it so major. I mean, it seems like something he would do. It makes perfect sense to me based off of, how you've been moving. I mean, so am I surprised? No. Also, I keep telling y'all that there are some bodies that people will take to the grave. Torey would have been one of them. Torey would have went to the grave, okay? On Love and Marriage Huntsville, when Miss Van was like, "Oh, we was friends." Yeah, okay. Mark, he would have went to the grave.
Oh,
People take bodies to the grave. I don't understand why people are acting so surprised about this. I mean, that is a very common thing because you do something and then you be like, "Why did I do this?" I mean, she had lost her mom, she had lost her parents, she was grieving. Normally in grief, you do things and then when you look back on it, you like, that wasn't the smartest move.
She should have took the baby to the grave too, because he called her ugly on live.
Listen, listen, okay? There's some people you just take to the grave. And not to be funny, when my dad passed away, I was the most angry, drunk, violent person I could have possibly been in my life. Like, I got arrested 4 times after that because I was hurt. So, did I do things in that 3 to 5 year span that I probably wouldn't have done outside of that? Absolutely, right? And I did it. I take ownership of the fact that I did it, but I wasn't thinking of that. I was hurt. So I was like, oh, I'm going to hurt someone else, or I'm drunk and I don't care. So I did things that, okay, probably wasn't the smartest move, but I did them. So could I understand someone losing their parent and acting out and just sleeping with a bunch of people? Yeah, I could see it happening. I could see being drunk all the time and sleeping with people as a thing. Fine.
And being young, being super young.
Like I'm not saying that has, that takes away from anything, but technically she didn't do nothing. She didn't do nothing wrong. You could sleep with whoever you want. You can get as you grown, you're an adult, you can get as drunk as you want. I mean, telling somebody their music is trash when realistically their music is trash ain't worth getting shot over. I mean, not to be funny, but if they had a history of passing people around and Kelsey and Meg passed dudes around, because if you really think about it, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like Meg and Kelsey passed dudes around. They would both bang them, move on to the next one. They would both bang them. And now if they was together banging them or solo banging them, I'm not sure. Maybe a little bit of both. Ain't really my business. All I'm saying is they went through a couple people together.
Well, no, I don't. If what I laid out was the series of events leading up to the gunshot happened, no, I do not think that Kelsey knew that her friend was sleeping with the people that she was sleeping with. Because why would you fight her?
Sir. Sir. As your best friend, they now mind you, they married. The knowing may not have happened at the moment that the incident occurred, but you ain't about to sleep with 3, 4, 5 of the same people and the other person don't know at all. Like that ain't realistic either. So his thought process of that logic don't make sense, because at some point something's gonna come out from this overlap. So that ain't really what that is either. That don't make sense either.
Devontae Gay?
But also, do I really care? Not really. Deport him already and do us all a solid. Actually, they could take the baby with him. And Tristan third trimester Thompson. They could take him too. I mean, all 3 of them could go fly back, if you ask me. Just take them off.
Wait, the baby's from Canada?
No, but we could definitely fit him in between Torey and the baby. We could fit him between Torey and Tristan and just scoot him right up in there. Canada won't even notice. Just
they would be fighting in no time. Devontae, you want to jump in?
All I have to say is I don't know if Torey Lanez is going to make it out of this. Legally, there's just too many ramifications for him at this point. If it's going to be a situation once Kelsey, which she'll likely go on the stand, it's going to be he said, she said, which might force his defense team to actually have him go on the stand. And I don't think he's going to survive the prosecution if he goes on the stand, trying to go and contradict what Kelsey's saying. I feel like he's most likely he's going to go to jail. We all know he's going to jail. It's just, is he going to admit guilt before going on the stand, or is he going to try to play coy like he doesn't know what's going on?
Based on what I've been like listening to, and like I said, I listen to both sides. I know how I feel about it, but that's why I always like to listen to what the opposition is saying. Megan was on the stand for 45 minutes. She had to admit that they had a relationship, and she gave the series, the rest of which she said was exactly what she told Gail. Just, minus that one lie. I don't know. I think that Torey's defense is just trying to get to a space where there is not 100% certainty that Torey did it. And if they can, I think they're banking on being able to do that. And then
there's no way to prove that. I think it wouldn't help legally with the situation, because at the end of the day, he still had a gun. And there's no way you can kind of move that around. The only way he could probably say something is, Kelsey saw my gun and she just took it from me and then started shooting Megan. That like, even in that scenario, we're like, how? That really makes no sense at all. But that's literally the only legal ramifications that they could use to try to say that. But then the prosecution most likely would go back and say, well, if that's what happened, then why did you have Grit back in the car? Then why did Kelsey be the one that actually texted people what had happened instead of you? And that's when he's going to start falling into that rabbit hole of like, oh, well, I can't find no more lies out of this.
I'm telling you, if Kelsey actually did it, she's a mastermind. If she actually did it, she is a mastermind, because that text put Torey in a position of, you shot this woman. Because the text that we're referencing is her saying, Torey shot her.
Right. And it's the timestamps. It's the timestamps. They're giving a really good chronological timestamp for everything that's happening in that time. There's no real wiggle room other than in the moment of the shooting to indicate like who shot somebody. It's really the stuff that happens afterward that's going to define if he's going to jail or not. And right now, evidence-wise, he's going to jail. He's going to jail.
We had another. Oh, here we go. Tia B. Are you ready to come up? Okay. Hey, Tia B. You're on mute.
Yeah, I am. I couldn't hear you guys, so I went out and came back in.
Hey. How are you feeling about this case? Who are you siding with so far?
Oh, let me make sure I cut the background off. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to talk from the perspective of someone that's been on trial.
Okay.
Themselves.
Oh, we got an expert, y'all. We got an expert in the house.
Twice. As you can see, the thugs pastor, but I'm redeemed. Amen.
I'm redeemed too, and a virgin. I'm
redeemed, but my past while I was a thug, I have been on trial, quite a few times, facing 20, 30 years one time. Let me just get everybody together on one thing that's just going to be so upsetting. Somebody might have already said it. Here's the only upsetting part. They only got to show doubt. And they don't have to, they've already done it. They only got to show 12 people doubt. Do you see the jury? I think it's only, like 4 black women. I know it's an older black man. It's 12, but the 12 people, they got a lot to prove for 12 people to say, did he? I don't know. They've already did it for one, showing what Megan did, not showing credibility. That's the word. Thank you, Holy Spirit. The credibility is shot on their end so far, as far as Megan's side. I think he did it. I think he's a little leprechaun demon. I think he has a Napoleon syndrome. I think he did it. but will he get away with it? Because, you know, it's some things that people have done, they've gotten off. You know, when you don't have a public defender, you get, I've only time I've ever gotten, I had a public defender. That's all I'm gonna say. Every other time I had a paid lawyer, I've never gotten time with a paid lawyer. Never. And nobody know who did it or not. You know, I was just found not guilty is all I'm saying.
Tia, specifically, when you say that he's already, you know, shown like doubt, what are you talking about specifically? What parts of the case do you think?
Okay, so when they first said, for one, both of them has gun residue now. It's like both of them like that. Now it's like, that's a little bit of doubt. Like, did he do it? Did she do it? Now I'm doubting what I believe. All they got to do is show a little bit of doubt that I don't know if I can send this man to jail for doing this. That's what somebody's heartstrings are going to pull in that back room with them 12 jurors. They're going to say, like one of my cases, I'm gonna give you an example. One of my cases, can she beat up two people at the same time? No, I don't believe that. They was like, no. Doubt. My attorney showed them doubt. Like, how this lady can beat up two people, which I was getting both people off of me. You know, whatever happened in the process happened, but I didn't literally try to beat up two people, but they showed the doubt. They showed the doubt. I got off, is what I'm saying. But that's all they got to do, and that's one thing of doubt that I see right now. I see that I don't like the fact that both of them have that GSR residue now. And I've been tested for gunshot residue before. I've been tested 20 minutes after shooting a gun. I've been tested several times for gunshot GSR, so I know the logistics of it. This girl can have it on there if she handled the gun. Also, he has supposed to have beat her up. He supposed to have hit her right after. Now, if he shot that gun and that GSR is on him and he hit her and she tried to grab him or something like that in his hand, she can get it on there. So they just got to have some good old attorneys is what I'm saying. But don't get so excited. I just want people to be prepared. That's all I came on to say is be prepared for him to get off if he do. I don't want him to, but they can show some doubt. They just got to show 12 people a little bit of doubt. Really, 2 people in the room. They don't even got to show all 12. 2 people in that room voting against them will keep this thing going, or go home for Christmas and be annoyed. And be annoyed. You know, people wanting to spend time with their family for the holidays. So they might be like, you know what? Hung jury.
Well, that would be crazy. I didn't even think about that. I forgot about Christmas.
Oh, we had hung juries. Yeah, when my husband was shot, I'm an old thug, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm redeemed. I almost scared nobody on this side. But no, my husband was shot when we went through that trial. That boy got off. We know he shot my husband. He got off. He shot him.
So
we were all in the shootout.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because the first witnesses yesterday were all police officers and the detective. There's some issues, guys. There's some holes. They used pieces of paper instead of placards. So they claimed that there was a blood trail. But with it being pieces of paper and not placards, the defense was able to say that that wasn't done correctly. And when the defense questioned why they did it that way, they acknowledged that they had not done it correctly.
That's it. They got to know that. They got to see. They'll be able to get that thrown out. The defense gonna tear their tail up. I'm telling you. First of all, I heard, and I did not hear the case yet, but I heard that the prosecution, somebody kind of transcribed it. That attorney guy, the prosecution came out very raggedy. They did not come out strong at all, is what I heard. They did not come out strong.
That so they're asking about the GSR was ruled inadmissible. That was what the defense. That was what the defense was claiming. It needs to be considered inadmissible because they did not test everybody. I think they didn't test Meg. They didn't test the.
They didn't bag everybody. The security. They didn't bag the security. He can try to say it was somebody else in that van. He can say those girls was fighting, but somebody else could have shot those all because they said it was empty. They said the clip was empty to where all of the bullets in the gun were empty out. So somebody shot all those bullets out. I did hear that part.
And the dance bitch dance. Nobody else heard that. Nobody else heard it. Nobody else.
Oh, so nobody. Oh, somebody just saying he said that. I thought that was what was on the audio.
That's what Megan said.
Oh, so there's no audio of that?
No.
His defense gonna tear that open. I just want people to be prepared that the man might get off. I just want that's all.
Let's see.
Oh Lord. Yeah, they're gonna have to throw that out. And they can't use that as a defense because what he said. Oh man. And then she went on the interview. That was so dumb. That was just the dumbest thing I could have ever seen. Everybody, Stevie Wonder could see she was lying on Gail when she answered the question. You don't even have to be a body language expert to know how Gail asked and how she responded. When I say Stevie could have saw that she was lying.
Yeah, so if anybody can actually get the full transcript, let me know. What I'm taking this off of is people who actually went to the court.
Yeah, this guy said he was in the court.
Dennis,
that I'm talking about too.
Dennis?
You talking about the lead attorney?
No. The lead attorney's there?
No, I was about to say I don't know his real name. I was about to say Lord, no.
No, it's a guy named Dennis. He is a actual journalist, like Portia.
Okay. Okay.
Tia, I just had to say I 100% agree with you with all of those facts. My only thing is though, I think the reasonable doubt thing is all gonna come in, but I think the only thing I'm questioning is how much of the recent things that he's been doing are going to be put into this case, because
that's what's going to help them. That's the only thing.
That's where I think that's going to get them. That's going to really going to mess him up because he basically has a whole history of assault.
He's a monster. Yeah, once they do that, that's going to help.
He straight lied about talking about he did not attack August. I was in the studio. What y'all talking about? Here's the video of you attacking. So. Yeah,
this case is going to be interesting to play out to see both of them's credibility kind of shot. For real, the defense trying to go on this good guy, that won't work. He is a real demon running around here. That's not going to work. You know, this man is sick. That hurt me. I mean, I'm a little sensitive. I know I'm an old thug, but I do cry. I'm a cancer, so I cry for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I literally cried. I do. I cried when he hit that boy. When I saw the pictures of August Alsina when he hit him, and you know he's sick. Oh my God. Oh. I melted. My heart melted for him. Like, why would you beat this boy up like that? You already know he's sick. You're evil, little sad man.
And that's another thing. And they say he just started to be able to really walk again, and then you beat him up.
Oh, that's the part that hurt. I'm telling you, I think that's what made me shed that tear right there. They was like, he just started to be able to walk again. I was like, oh my God, he beat him up. Why? Yeah. When is your colorism? Before I leave, I want to know when your colorism. I'm the one that was in the DM that wanted to share my Wendy Williams colorism story on your platform. Remember, I said I wanted you to have that story.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was gonna do a members only live to talk about that. I'm a little nervous. I feel like
you are.
I'm nervous because things go really, really left. Ooh. And although my channel, my platform, I've always dropped the link. Some things have been popping off that are too negative, right?
Why don't you do a pre-link then? Email them the link, people that you talk to, i.e. me or something, just a couple of us or something. Because I do want to share that story. It's a real story, and I want to, because I also want to show God's grace and the fact that I do feel sorry for this lady, even though I don't. Even at one time, I wanted to hawk spit on her for her colorism. But what she going through now? No, I wanted the hawk spit. I'm talking about ask Marco Glorious because I told him.
I remember your DM.
Yep.
DM me again, and we'll talk. We'll talk offline about it.
We'll talk offline.
We'll see what we could do. Maybe it could just be a one-on-one thing during one of my actual reviews. You know what I mean? Because I like you. Do you have a channel?
Wendy, I do. It's not major. I'm just dipping in and out. You know, I mostly was doing like my just prayer calls, but they kind of just wanted to like have me pray every single day and not give me like a single donation. So I couldn't do it. It was wearing me out. So God said, shut it down. Them niggas is too. Oh, sorry, on your channel.
It's okay. I don't think this one's gonna be monetized anyway. Anytime I do something with black people, rappers, they demonetize me.
Oh, especially Torey Lanez and Megan. They probably will.
It's okay.
Anytime I say I've been working on the N word, when I say it, I don't make $1. So that could be why, but I do. It's IMTB. I'm on IMTB on here, but I'm going to start doing more content because I'm going to start covering. People like these. I love all of the people, but some people do curse too much for some people. Even though we like to watch The Real Housewives of Potomac, we like to watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, and we like the reviews, but some of us don't want to hear a lot of cursing when people do the reviews. So I really feel like God was like, you're also in the entertainment. You like entertainment. You can do that. So I do want to, I'm going to cover Riches because I fell in love with Riches. So I'm going to cover Riches, and I'm going to cover The Best Man when that comes out on Peacock this December 22nd. I'm going to cover The Best Man and then all of the reunions. So I'm only going to do Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion. I'm tired of that season. So
well,
other than that,
Tia B, Thug Pastor, you guys go and support.
Yes.
Somebody asked, Legally Leah, she does do something in the legal field. She says that his prior acts are not admissible. I think that we all know about the Tory Lanez story, but Tory didn't even go to the police. So, I mean,
August Alsina didn't go to the police.
I'm sorry, August did not go to the police.
Oh, exactly. You're right.
So I don't know how they could pull him into that. I mean, I'm sure he's not past the statute of limitations, but it would seem weird for him to go and do something like that just so that he could go and testify. I don't even think he would do it.
But they do have video footage to show character. Now they can show character. They can show his character with that video that we all saw with him walking back over there. Although it doesn't show him physically touching him, there might be people that want to come out and say, as a character witness, this man is angry. Now I don't know what part. Now why is Kris Jenner's husband? Before I go, I wanted to know that why is Kris Jenner's husband? Do you know why he's testifying?
Yes, because he was there at Kylie's house when Kylie put Megan out for being drunk and belligerent.
So he's going to witness the fact that she was drunk and belligerent.
It is weird that Kylie's not being called, but he is. I don't know if that's some type of privilege. But
that was the part I was finna ask. That's what I'm about to ask.
Kylie doesn't have to come on stand, but he will.
But look who they put up. Let me shut up. Yup. Let me log off. But look who they put in front to go testify. Ooh.
Somebody they don't care about. Thank you so much, Elise. She said, as long as Colby doesn't show up, we're good.
Facts. Later than that.
I love y'all. I'm so mad. I gotta get.
Well, yeah, you're welcome here anytime, Tia.
All righty, y'all be blessed. I'll be listening in.
Thank you so much, Elise, for the super chat. Okay, so we got more. So it says that on the phone call that Tory made from jail to try to get bail, Tory acknowledged he was drunk and he did not know what happened. Kelsey says she's at the hospital waiting for Meg. But little did she know, Megan was actually rushed off. So Kelsey was waiting for her at Cedars-Sinai. Meanwhile, Meg's team took Meg somewhere else. She also told Tory that Meg's team is already all over this. So I don't know exactly what the defense is trying to do with that. Just saying Meg's team is all over it. Like Megan, I assume that means that they are trying to allude to the fact that Megan's team was already crafting a story. Did anybody want to touch on that?
So Kelsey went to the hospital after Meg was shot.
After she was questioned, yeah.
That's an interesting thing for somebody to do if they actually were the one who did it.
Right. Now, I'm telling you guys, I'm not that I necessarily agree with this, but I do deep dives. So what they are saying is she also told this man where Megan was. She said she was at Cedar Sinai. So the thought is, if this man just shot your friend, A, why are you taking his call? And B, why are you telling him where she is after you shot her? Anybody can jump in. This is a free for all. I think you guys are all respectful, so anybody can jump in if you have
Could
something.
be a joint venture. Could have been he did it, but she was in on it, which is why she was notifying him of Megan's location. Could be. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm of two minds. I feel like there's more to the story than they're telling us because it doesn't. Nothing is making sense to me. Also, I feel like Kelsey. I don't know. Kelsey could be she could be a mastermind or she could just be I don't know. She could just be saying telling him unknowingly, I'm just confused.
Like an airhead?
Yeah. Because I don't know. Every time, what I do know is one of them.
And keep in mind, all these people were all really drunk. They
Yes,
were all
exactly.
really drunk. They were smart enough to have a driver and not drive, but they were all drunk. Kelsey was passed out at Kylie's house, and they woke her up to leave. So,
I think the fact that they all had alcohol, maybe they don't all remember exactly what happened. That's why we're getting different stories at different times because maybe they're trying to piece together what exactly happened, and maybe the only person that can tell us at least half of the story is the driver up until he was still in the car. Because you had said that he was in the car till he went back to get something from Kylie's house, right? The driver.
Megan made him take them back because they had all shipped Megan home. Megan made him take her back to go get something, but really she wanted to get Torey.
So the driver knows one part of the story up until he got out of the car. So after that, I don't think we would ever find out what exactly happened.
Okay. Devontae? Tracy?
So can they get him for the unregistered carrying an unregistered firearm in a car? Because technically a firearms charge is enough to be deported. So that's all I need. I just need him gone.
Thanks.
We are all going back and forth on all of this. I need him gone. Please. It's real simple. I don't care what charge I'll get him on. Get him on the firearms charge. That's fine with me. Fine. You can't say you didn't have the gun, you didn't shoot the gun, you didn't hold the gun, because clearly you had gunshot residue. Fine. Fine. Y'all want to fight between who fought her? Fine. That's enough to be deported. Get him out of here. Send him back to America's hat and be done with it. For me, I will say this as somebody who drinks and has drunk a lot in my lifetime. Sometimes what you remember when you're drunk is not 100% of what actually happened. It's close. It's like 80%, right? It's like 80%. You get the big ticket items. Smaller things, they may be hit or miss sometimes. You may get some details, not get some details. And normally it's more that you don't hear something than you make something up, right? It's more like, oh, remember this happening? You're like, no, I don't remember that part. I remember this, this, and this, but I don't remember doing this piece right here, right? That's normally what it is when you're drunk. Fine. I don't understand why Torey would ever admit to saying dance half a dance. I don't see him admitting that. So is it shocking that she heard it and he didn't? No, that's not shocking, because why would he admit to saying it? Because that's also admitting, that I'm shooting at you. So I understand him not going and being like, oh, yay. I said that I can see him not being the one to outright say that he did it. So
are you reading this comment, Tracy?
Listen, I do. Listen. I do. Send him back. I don't understand why America needs to keep people's problems. We got enough problem children of our own. Send the other ones back to where they belong. We got enough. Okay? We still stuck with the baby. I mean, we got a little midget leprechaun who got problems. I mean, y'all can take y'all's back. I mean, technically, we got more than enough. We don't need nobody else's help.
Canada want to know how they got in it, Tracy.
Cause Torey is y'all's. He is y'all's. He belongs to y'all. That's where he came from. Actually, he belongs to y'all. We just stuck with him for some reason. I mean, but he's originally y'all's. But I think for me, it's one of those things where, when you're drunk, when you're that drunk to the point that you get put out of a party because you are acting a nutball fool, is it a thought process that you may not get everything spot on? Yeah, it is. Again, I told y'all there's some bodies that you just take to the grave.
I'm sorry. You guys continue with this conversation really quick. My mama's outside to drop off some baby stuff for my friend. Remember the friend with the stroke? Mm-hmm. We bought her baby a bunch of Christmas stuff. So I'll be right back.
Okay. Now, Tracy, I do agree that, you can't really count on the witness testimony of drunk people. But I would go further to say that even sober people's witness testimonies are flawed. If you ever collected witness testimonies, everybody saw somebody with a different color hair and different, everything is different. So witness testimonies themselves are notoriously unreliable.
True. Absolutely. But if I was being potentially, I'm potentially facing a gun charge, my story gonna be real slim too.
If I was facing one, my lawyers would have concocted the best story ever in life. Nobody would have been.
Here's the problem. Okay, so we need the driver's story because he's probably the closest to being a neutral party, right? Because if he's not Torey's personal driver that drives with him every day, or Meg's personal driver that drives with her every day, if it was just a service, then that probably will be the most neutral party. So we need that person's testimony for what they seen. It also seems like we're skipping over. There clearly had to be some sort of fight or disagreement that happened before she was shot. So it's like we're clearly skipping over this actual incident that exploded that caused the shooting. But at least now we can all agree that, okay, well, I mean, technically she was shot at. I mean, at least now that's no longer in debate. How before people was like, oh, she was never even shot. Now it's like, okay, well, we're there now. She was shot at, so we can put that to rest. Now we're at the point of saying, okay, well, we need a driver to tell us what you did or didn't see from whatever time it was. Also, when it comes to the part of trying to figure out, okay, well, did Torey punch Kelsey in the face? Was there the physical altercation between the two of them that also ensued, which is where she could have got some of that gunshot residue from? Is that, where that came from? Is it you played hot potato in the gun after you emptied it? You tossed it over there because it was empty, couldn't do nothing with it. Is that where she got the right? I'm just trying to understand where these other pieces came from. Because it just seems like there is a lot to the story that is missing. But at the end of the day, at this point, I feel like if we are going to try and surmise what happened between two people who have no reason to tell 100% of the truth because they want to make their story sound best, we're basically
I don't think
stuck.
Anybody is gonna come, because I think there was a lot more going on, so I don't think that anybody is going to tell 100% of the truth which is probably why we're sitting here like this story isn't adding up.
Hell no,
But
listen.
also, isn't that the weirdest part of it though? Is as long as we've seen Tory Lanez in our faces, in our space, in our phones, this man talks, runs his mouth all the time, and this is the only sole situation. He's literally said nothing. He hasn't even said, "I didn't even shoot her." I find that
Well,
very
he made
telling
that
within
mixtape.
itself.
He was put under a gag order to not be able to talk about it by the courts.
I
But
mean,
wasn't
he did make
that
that
took time
mixtape.
to happen? He didn't even say it even before, like it initially happened. He didn't say, "I didn't shoot her," or it was an accident. It was just like, okay, we're gonna be quiet because I know this is gonna hit me legally. When it came to him assaulting people, even after the whole Meg Thee Stallion, when he was violating his restraining order that he had when he went to Rolling Loud, he was saying things, but it's specifically where now he has a legal ramification that this man is not saying anything. To me, that's telling enough of his character that he did it. We all know he did it. I don't think there's going to be really a situation where he's going to get out of this. I just got to keep saying it. He is not getting out of this.
Yeah, I totally think he's guilty. As for the people talking about NDAs in the chat, here's the thing: like, you can't be bound to keep quiet when it's something about breaking the law. So,
No.
if the cops need you to tell something, you gonna tell. You gonna tell. It's just like I can't have you sign a contract, and in that contract, it's a bunch of illegal stuff. Like,
well, that depends, because I mean, look at the whole Bill Cosby situation. He getting away through NDAs.
Is null and void. If I have you sign a legal document saying commit this illegal crime, then no, that document is not. It doesn't hold up. It's illegal. So you can't.
I mean, but you don't. You
can have an NDA like trade secrets and things like that. But in this criminal investigation, if there was even an NDA, we don't even know. The legal system will definitely get around that.
That's very true. He going to jail.
I think eventually he will. Oh, that's cute. You're on mute. I think.
Yeah, you muted.
You're muted.
Mims,
but it's so cute.
Muted.
Mims, unmute.
Sorry, I said I know this is off topic, but yeah, this is for the baby.
It's so cute.
Who my friend had the strokes. She just a little update, guys. She gets back home on December 16th. So that's why I'm trying to, after I get off live, I'm going to take this and the other gifts that we bought to her house because it's like Christmas stuff. So the baby will be able to take pictures. So she is walking, she's talking. It's not great, but for only a few months and having had 3 strokes in one day, she's doing really well. When I went to visit her, the doctors or the nurses said that it was because of the baby. Like she has something to go home to. So that's why she's been progressing. So thank you for everybody who donated. I know you guys, want updates, and that is a really good update. She'll be home for Christmas. So back to this court case where people got shot.
Oh my God. I was saying, I think Torey will be found guilty, but I think he'll be put on probation and maybe deported back to Canada. And I have a question. I don't know how it's like in the States, but can people get like permanently banned from coming into the country?
Yes.
Ask Teresa's husband, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, they can definitely ban you.
Yeah.
They can
do like 20-year bans.
10 years. They can do indefinite. They can,
I think
Torey was offered a plea for the gun charge, I believe. He was offered a plea of 1 year and 1 day in jail. But he turned it down because he could still be deported.
Yeah, any gun charge could get you deported. Hence the reason why I don't even need him to be found guilty of shooting her. Just find him guilty of the gun charge and do us all a solid.
That's
Send him back and just be done with it. I mean, technically at this point, I don't understand why we are. So I understand from a legal perspective why you're debating semantics, right? Why he is on the side of, I just need to give you some other person that it could be that's not me to give me some reasonable doubt, right? Because for him, that's all it really is. I just need y'all to think that, okay, it could possibly be this other person, and let that go. I think where it's going to me, where I'll be able to be like, oh, okay, wait, he's probably not going to be found guilty. He's probably going to be found guilty. Would probably more so when Kelsey testifies, because this is the person who you're saying it's going to be, because it's not you. This is the person you're alluding to being the person who shot her. So, all right, well, let's see what she says. Because that's the person you're giving it up to. I mean, who
She
else
comes
was in
tomorrow.
Who else was in the car?
It was a security guard, the driver, Kelsey, Megan, and Torey.
Yeah. So security ain't about to risk their license to play with y'all and y'all foolishness. They ain't about to do that. That's not how that works.
Really quickly, because I've been listening to all these little minor details. Why Megan got a CIA officer on her security detail team? A former CIA officer who swept the building. I was like, yes, Megan.
Well, I mean, they just did a bomb threat at Patti LaBelle thing, and I don't understand that either. So people crazy nowadays. So
most of the
Kelsey goes on the stand tomorrow.
Operatives become private security. Most of them do. Pays nice.
It says so far the driver has not been called to testify. Let's see. Hello, Celeste.
I want to hear the fight about his bad music.
Celeste came and left. Okay.
I mean, I want to fight about his bad music.
Oh, okay. This was also another thing.
I've never heard one of
Torey, Megan's bodyguard, says that he went to Torey's house to pick up Meg's stuff, and says Torey admitted to shooting her there.
Okay, that's hearsay. Do he have it on audio, video, any type of anything?
I'm just giving you
that's
the
just
facts.
Hearsay.
Yeah, legally, that's not going to even be worth anything.
I'm with you on that. Okay, I went over this story with y'all. Torey's still in the pool. The defense did bring up Megan's interview with Gail King multiple times, basically saying that she is a liar. What's up, legally?
I don't know. I mean, she lied about sleeping with Torey, but
am I on?
Is that really
we can hear you, but you're low.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's see. Talk. Okay, give me. Okay, I'm working out. I'm old. I'm not old. Here I come. Just a moment. I'm 43.
So for those of you who don't know, legally Leah is a star in these comment sections. She is really quick-witted. She doesn't play, much like Tracy Chappelle.
I can't stop myself.
And Cotty. Wait. And she's also in the legal field, so she can be our legal eagle if you have questions.
Yeah. I don't. Okay. I don't know why I'm low and at the same. Oh, I have AirPods.
I can hear you now.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Well, even better. Or is that worse? Is that better?
We can hear you. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. All right. Well, I haven't done this since 2020, been on the StreamYard, child. So it's been a while. But yes. Oh, no, I'm not a licensed attorney. I do have a law degree. I went to law school, so I have the same training as an attorney. So I cannot give legal advice. I can talk about legal education and information and stuff that's in the news. So you're not going to get me on camera yet, Mims, but I'm slowly getting there. I'm slowly getting there. But yes.
Don't think that I won't refer to the people where they can find you on camera.
Yes, but my avatar's right there, but child.
Okay, so legally, where are you at? Where are you at? Because I saw you said that you don't really want to pass judgment or really give your full opinion until all of the facts or what were you saying?
Yeah, the evidence is. Yeah, I would say that I can't form an opinion until all the evidence is in. because it's like our minds want to think, well, yeah, he had a gun, somebody got shot, so of course he's going to jail. But that's not always the case, as we've seen in many cases. Like Kyle Rittenhouse, for example, we saw him on camera shooting people. So there's always a defense. Maybe it's not a good defense, but there's always something that someone can come up with to explain away even something that we see with our own eyes. And so, but so I can look at it from the legal standpoint and just keep tunnel vision like that. And on the outside, kind of blending both, looking at the charges, he just got another charge 8 days ago. I think he got a firearm charge only 8 days ago. So he
that's the one that
That's
they
a
wanted
GSR
to
one?
give him the plea deal for.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, so I think, if we say that, oh, he's going to be guilty or not guilty, we have to remember that there are at least 3 counts, I believe. That's why I don't know anything. But he has different counts that he can be found guilty or not guilty on. So that has a lot to do with it too, whether he served time or not.
I'll take the firearms charge of deportation for 200, Alex.
Any day. Shoot.
I'll be fine with that.
Y'all ain't the best, and I haven't cooked that better than this.
You had some thoughts on the casting doubt. Tia gave some examples, and you were saying that that's not admissible. Do you want to expound on that? Not admissible. That's not the term I meant. You said that just casting doubt was not enough.
Yeah, she was correct. And I said, I could tell, my girl went to trial, and that's good because she thinks like a lawyer as well. But yes, it is correct. In criminal cases, the standard of proof is called burden of proof. It's on the prosecution, or sometimes called the state, and they have to prove the defendant's guilt or innocence. Some literature says, above and beyond all reasonable doubt, but it's beyond a reasonable doubt. And a doubt could be, if you're absolutely certain there's no doubt, but there's a maybe, well, I don't know, maybe so, could be, that's doubt. So anytime you have any of that, that is doubt, and that's all you need to get an acquittal.
Just based on this layman's rollout of what's happening, do you think that any doubt has been cast? Do you think that interview that she requested where she lied will successfully cast doubt on her, being a truthful person?
So I have a dog who's about to bark, so just to warn y'all. There he goes. He's a Maltese, but he swears he's like a German Shepherd. But so what's the interview? He is like 10 pounds. He's so cute. Thanks, Ainsley. But was the interview admitted into evidence and presented to a jury? Any information about that presented to a jury?
From what I gathered, the defense brought it up multiple times because Megan had requested that interview with Gail, and she lied about their sexual relationship. But then, according to the prosecutors, soon after she did that interview, they went to her and asked, well, did you have a sexual relationship with him? And she admitted to them that she did.
Well, yeah. I mean, anytime, we've all experienced this in our own lives. Somebody say something one time and they say something else. It's like, why are you like, I know you're lying. And so when you have, especially since their sexual relationship is so closely, I hate to make a pun, but entangled up in this whole gun shooting situation. There's, other people, like I think she said, maybe double bonus, solo bonus. I don't know what she said, double busting. All this stuff is going on that's all related. And so for her to lie, no matter what, a lie is a lie. And yes, a person who lies and has that lie brought out on the stand, it does make them look bad. However, Meg Thee Stallion is also a very, she's a very good, I'll say good victim, but you have a lot of sympathy for her. And so a lot of women and men could probably say like, I can see why she lied about that. So if we have that human connection of, well, she lied about having sex with him, but does that mean she lied about him shooting her? Or, yeah, she lied about having sex with him, but does that mean, I'll rephrase that, but does that mean that he's not guilty of shooting her?
Okay, so when you said that, that reminded me of this. It was something that she said specifically in her testimony. Let's see. Where is it? It was specifically about. Oh, where is it? Okay, she said that this whole situation in the industry is like a big old boys club. Like I'm telling on one of y'all's friends. Now y'all are about to hate me. Megan Thee Stallion also hints on the topic that's been central to the case between the Daystar record and Drake's recent lyrics that implied she lied about the shooting, that she feared the reporting of Lane's could hurt her career.
The key word there is implied. So and that's a great attorney will actually pull out emphasis on that. If that's in quotes, is that I put on my glasses? Is that in quotes? If it's in quotes, that means it's a direct statement. So yeah, so if something was implied, then that kind of leaves room for like, yeah, maybe not, because it's implied. So there's no definite whether or not, right? What was the other thing you said? And I have to remind people, I don't know what the hell is going on in this case. Okay. The MEMS is my only source of information.
I'm very upfront. I got it from TMZ. I got it from
I know nothing.
A journalist
and you can
who's there. There's a guy there from the LA Times that he's been tweeting. Then Mob Radio, another YouTuber. Also, she's from Houston, and she kind of reminds me of Megan Thee Stallion a little bit, but she's talking with DJ Academics. So when I listen to DJ Academics and her speak, I'm fully aware that they hold a bias. Both of them are in support of Torey. And she even said Torey was trying to do a podcast with her and DJ Academics. So, I mean, I can listen to everybody, and I'm astute enough to kind of pull from it my own opinion. But I'm giving you these things exactly as they said it.
So, yeah, and that's what I love about you, because you said, oh, hold on, let me pull this receipt. Let me show you exactly what the media is reporting, because, at least whatever, it's great to have opinion backed up with the press releases and all that. So that's why you are men. That's why we love you. Talking.
No. That's what look, whenever I put open panel, that's exactly what I mean. It's an open panel. I can see people in the chat who are in support of Torey. You can be in support of Torey around here. I'm fine with it. Because it's your opinion, and this is just all our opinion. At the end of the day, the court and the jurors are going to make the decision, but we're here to talk about it. V. Lenore, did you want to jump in?
Oh, please jump in.
Hello. First of all, make it make sense. Thank you for allowing me on your panel. That's the first thing. Secondly, I came in a little late. There's two things, though, that stood out to me. One, you were talking about credibility, and should Megan be questioned because she lied about one thing? The problem with her lie is that not only did she lie when asked directly about her relationship with Torey, she has tried to cover up that there was ever any real relationship with Torey up until today. You know what I'm saying? So she had years, because this trial has been in the making now for years. This incident happened in 2020.
So July 2020, you're right.
So the fact that she is still lying up until the point where she had an interview this year on a national platform, and she still had a chance to rectify it, she didn't. But what makes matters even worse is the fact that she lied to authorities the night of the shooting, of the incident, and she lied a couple of times after that, until she finally went live and on her channel and then stated that he had done something to her. Prior to that, she was doing nothing but lying, and that is problematic. So while she wasn't under oath, it is still illegal to lie to authorities about a matter, because it's as if she is tampering with, she's obstructing justice at that point. That's the first thing. The other thing that I think is
that's fair. Just FYI, I mean, that's fair what you said.
And then the other thing, we're having a discussion in the chat about what hearsay is. Just to be clear, hearsay is when I get on the stand and I testify that Meg the Stallion told Make It Make Sense this story, right? If I get on the stand saying that Megan told you something, but I wasn't there, that's hearsay. But if Megan told me something directly and I testify, that is not hearsay. So that there's a difference. Does that make sense?
I hear you. Legally, Leah, can you chime in?
Yeah. Hearsay is one of the most nuanced rules of law out there, and there's actually whole law school classes on hearsay. And so of course, we have our own he say, she say, hearsay kind of definition. But legally, hearsay is only done when someone's on the stand. Like you say, someone's on the stand, they say something that's someone told them. There's actually asterisk to that, but I'll get to that in a second. But the definition of hearsay is an under oath statement that's made in a court of law that's offered to prove the truth of the matter asserted. So meaning that it has to go to the truth.
I'm sorry.
Of the
Come through, Black Girl Magic. She is just spitting out these definitions.
Girl,
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yes,
you're an attorney? Are you an attorney?
I am not. I went to law. I have a Juris Doctor. I have a law degree, but I'm not a licensed attorney.
Okay, so you're a lawyer.
Exam.
You're a lawyer, not an attorney. Gotcha.
I'm a Juris Doctor. I have a law degree, so I have the same training as a lawyer, but I do not practice law. No.
Gotcha.
I went to the same school with them.
Okay.
On top of that boring stuff.
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry. You were saying, but I was like listening.
Definition that I gave in the chat.
Yeah, and what I liked about what you said was that you put it in the courtroom, and that's where it happens. It's in the courtroom when someone's on the stand, and but there are ways to get that's
what I said in the chat, though, right? About being in the courtroom on the stand testifying.
It's a statement made. It's a statement made under oath.
Exactly.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I put in the chat.
Oh, did you? Because I thought what you were saying was
in the chat, under oath in the courtroom. It's right there.
Well, I just said testifying. So if you're testifying, you're under oath in the court. You can testify.
I put the entire definition up there, and you told me I was wrong.
No. What I said was
ladies.
Because you can go scroll up and look. I put the exact definition.
No, that's not what you said exactly.
What is happening, y'all?
Ladies. Let me clarify for both of you, because both of you are a little bit right.
Oh, okay.
So the legal definition is under oath. Okay, and yes, you're under oath when you were on the stand in the courtroom. And you're also under oath when you do depositions or you make affidavits. So anytime you make any legal statement that's under your sworn testimony, that's an oath.
Right.
So it doesn't. So and that's why and I'll get there's availability of witnesses. So let's say, for example, I have to testify in a trial, but I have to go to or I'm dead or I'm infirm too much. I can't go anywhere, or for some reason I can't get there. But I've had a deposition. I've been deposed about this case. And that means I gave my questions and testimony under oath outside of the courtroom. However, my deposition was a sworn testimony made under oath.
Exactly. Okay. And so the statement testimony, meaning to testify, would apply in either place, right? That's what you're saying.
Well, I don't want to say, but I'll use a legal definition. Legal definition is under oath, and yes, that includes testifying. But it can also be, like I said, affidavits, depositions. There's things under that umbrella of under oath.
But in your deposition is a testimony.
Yes, it's a type of testimony. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
So I have a question, right? Because everyone keeps saying like, "Oh, she lied about being in a relationship with him. She lied about." The term relationship is used so loosely nowadays that you could be sleeping with somebody for 5 months and y'all are not in a relationship at all whatsoever. Y'all just sleeping together, right? So when someone asks a question like, "Oh, are you two in a sexual relationship?" No, we just banging.
Well, that's a sexual relationship. You're having sex on a consistent basis or more than once.
But that doesn't mean that. See, so to you that means right. So to you that means a relationship, but to a lot of people it doesn't. And I think that's where we also have to understand that when you say, "Oh, this is what it means to me," that isn't what it always means to someone else, right? So if you ask someone, are you sleeping with this person, right? No relationship, no nothing. You can get one answer, and as soon as you tag that word relationship to it, you'll get a completely different one. Not because of the fact that they're not sleeping together, is because of how that person uses that term relationship, especially nowadays, right? Especially in 2022, 2023-ish terms, that relationship term, depending on who you use it with and who says it means something completely different, because people be sleeping together for years and will be like, no, we're not in a relationship. Oh no. So
But the question was very specific. It wasn't asking, are you in relationship with him or are you in romantic relationship with him? The question was very specific. Do you have a sexual relationship with him? And if you are having sex with a person, you are having sexual relations with the person.
yeah, but
That's
That's
why
how
I'm
Clinton
saving
got jacked
myself
up.
for marriage.
Now, are
boy,
we
I know
dating?
you
Do we go
lying.
together?
That's
Okay.
how Clinton got jacked
Boy,
up.
I know you lying.
It's the definition of what is the definition of this, right? Just like you said, Bill Clinton. And to that point, also, because the issue isn't whether they were having sex or not. The issue is the whether she was truthful or not about it, or actually, like I said, I don't know anything, but apparently she. Well, hold on, Gail King was the interviewer, right? So she
Gail was
told Gail
there.
they didn't have a sex relationship, and then in court she said they did. Is that what happened?
Yes.
Okay, so her courtroom said, okay, so if I were to, and I don't know what side, I guess she's testifying for the prosecution
For the prosecution.
because she went
She's
today.
their
Prosecution
witness.
always goes first. Okay, yeah, prosecution always goes first. Okay, so if I'm a defense attorney on cross-examination, wait, so I'm trying to picture, because I don't know. So I'm trying to picture the parties. If what I want to do is help Megan get out of this situation by her lying. So, but what I would do is say, well, she's a sex symbol. And, and it's been a trend in pop culture, especially in music. You have a sex symbol like a boy band or whatever. They hide the relationships they have because they don't want to lose that appeal to their audience who swoons for them, right? And so I would say, yes, she was. I would say, how would I say? She wasn't fully forthright about the nature of the relationship she had with Mr. Lanez. However, that was a strategic decision for her professional image in the hip hop industry that is mostly dominated by men. That's all you have to say. It's like, oh, okay, I can see why she did that. I mean, I'm talking as me as a woman. Like, if I heard that, I mean, cause listen, ain't nobody got to tell me why you lie about some dick. I don't know it. I almost said that. I don't know that dude. Okay, who? Okay, so
we know that there was a reason why she never wanted to talk about what the argument in the car was about. She wanted to avoid getting out the fact that she and her best friend, her so-called best friend, were sleeping with the same guy. She wanted to make sure that didn't get out. But then she threw her friend and the guy under the bus for the most part.
So let me understand this. Let me go back to, because I just found out who Kelsey was in the chat. Thank you, chat, for telling who Kelsey was. That's how much I don't know. So Kelsey is Megan's best friend who was screwing around with Torey as well?
First.
Okay, she had him first, like Ray J did with Kim Kardashian.
She's not only a best friend, she was also an aspiring rapper.
She looks like it.
Her and Megan kind of look similar to me always. I don't know.
Yeah, she's getting a little Tamar Braxton, isn't she, y'all? Am I the only one who sees that Tamar? I see a little Tamar her. And so, there's probably some, it is heated, like you said, been drinking, and just the hype of the celebrity of, being at the Jenner's house, whatever. So it's just a lot of the perfect storm of a night. However, and this is why, we don't have all these extraneous things come into the courtroom as testimony, because it clouds it, because all that really matters. And the issue is whether or not a lid, put the lid side up. But the only thing that's at issue is, let me see the charges. I know he has the gun charge, he has the assault charge, and that's the only thing the jury has to decide. So they have to decide, of course, the credibility of Megan's testimony goes to that. And it would be interesting to see what the defense has, because we still have a whole nother side to this case that has to be presented. We're just on the first day of testimony. And so, there's, like I said, there's two sides to every story, and definitely two sides in every case. So I'm very excited to see what the defense has because hell, you got this dude with a gun and he done shot this lady in the foot like Della Reese or Harlem Nights. Like somebody got to go to jail in my opinion, but I can't make that opinion.
Hilarious.
Somebody said that, and again, guys, I'm not saying I believe this. I'm just giving you guys full devil's advocate here. They're saying that Kelsey was they really wanted Torey, the prosecution, so they might have given Kelsey some type of plea deal in exchange for her, testifying. Is that possible?
It's possible, but if she has a plea deal, everyone knows she has a plea deal. Both attorneys would know, the judge would know, they all, because that needs to come out, because what the other side would want to do is suggest that, well, that's why she's testifying this way, because she has a deal on the table. But a lot of times things are promised to the person, but they can't sign the plea deal until after testimony has concluded, because they want to make sure that you keep your end of the bargain too. And they don't want the other side to use it in that way.
Hold on really quick, guys. Thanks so much for the super chat, Trent. He says, Gail didn't ask if they were in a committed relationship. She asked if they was.
Exactly.
The word.
Mm-hmm. And did we clear up what hearsay is? Because still, the hearsay is not when someone else.
Lord Jesus.
You didn't clear that up. Hearsay is when a person on the stand testifying in a deposition or otherwise is sharing a conversation that was said to them directly by the person we're talking about, not by a third party, correct?
It can include a third party, and there's something called hearsay within hearsay. And
no, what I'm saying, it does include a third party. But if the person, if Torey told me something and I get on the stand, that's not hearsay.
It depends. Now, there are instances where someone can directly tell you something, and it can be hearsay because they could directly tell you something that someone else told them. So
I made it clear. This is not about what someone else told them. This is about something they said. So if you and I are having a conversation now and I get on the stand and I tell them what you told me, that is not hearsay. Correct?
Yes, but I also have a duty to make sure that the actual legal terminology is used correctly. So that's why I had to expound on what you said. So yes, you are correct, but I don't want people to go away thinking that's just the end of the hearsay story about what somebody told you. So there are instances where someone can tell you something and it's still hearsay. However, that doesn't apply in this case where Torey or whoever, or two parties are speaking about what they heard from someone directly out their mouth.
If I hear it for myself, it's not hearsay. If I hear it for myself, it's not hearsay.
And there are some, ma'am, there are some instances that you can hear something.
I've never heard an attorney say this in my life. It is pathetic. I just hate that we're giving out bad information.
Well, just because you have an attorney say it doesn't mean it's not the legal. Did you go to law school?
I want to point out that Phaedra said a lot of things that were untrue.
It's true. I didn't say lawyers don't lie. I said the fact that you're giving a definition about what hearsay is and you're avoiding the fact that the person is being stated too.
Ma'am, let me do this. Let me do this.
Can we call the next witness?
Hold on.
It's just that your panelist really is out here sharing bad information, and I would think you would want to correct her.
What I'm going to do, ma'am, first of all, there is a question pending. I asked you if you went to law school. Did you go to law school?
No, and I don't have to.
Okay, no, you don't. But I did.
Right,
and
but
so
because I'm hearing what you're saying and you're avoiding.
Hold on. This is not my channel.
No, I did not say you were wrong.
Hold on, legally.
Hold
on one second.
There is a general
legally, I'm gonna have
to every legal rule. Go ahead. Sorry.
Hold on 1 second. Okay, guys. I want to go ahead and move on from hearsay because this is just supposed to be us sharing our opinions, and it's taking a turn, right? It's taking a turn that I don't personally like, and I don't think it's fun. So if we could move on from hearsay And
How do we start the deportation process? How about that? Can we go there?
I'll
How do we
just-
start
I'll just
deportation?
I'll just lean on my Juris Doctorate and move on to about hearsay
Like-
because I took the
How
class
can
for
we?
it.
How can we
Yes.
start
But
deportation?
yes, deportation.
How can we start
Yes.
that?
Thank you.
How can we send him back to
Tracy.
Canada? How can we do that? Because
I don't
that
think
we can
Canada
do.
wants him.
And we don't want him either.
Well, give him
But
the
what
head,
if he
give him
didn't
the
shoot
lead.
her? What if Kelsey really did shoot her or shoot at her? Because here's the other thing that Meg lied about. If she's not looking and she doesn't have any bullet fragments in her foot, per se, how was she shot? Did she shoot? Was she shot towards and she literally stepped on bullet fragments or glass, which is what they found? Or like, what about that part? Because that was an accurate statement either. She can't say who shot her if she's not looking. And Kelsey has gunpowder residue on her hands. So how'd that happen?
Well, since Kelsey is a U.S. citizen, we can't deport her. He's the only one up for debate. He's the
I have a
only
random
option.
question.
Huh.
I have a random question.
We can
just
send her to
ask Leah.
Guam. Yeah. Hey.
But really quick to answer your question, we don't know that. I'm pretty sure they're going to be bringing in experts in the field, and they're going to be talking about both the defense and the prosecution. Will probably bring on experts about how the bullet fragments got there, but we're not there yet. Does that answer Villanor?
I mean, and if I'm looking at the picture, that's an odd place to step on a bullet fragment. I mean, that's not the bottom of her foot. That's like closer to
No,
the
it looks like
ankle.
she got cut. It literally looks like
So
cuts,
so it couldn't be a
not like a bullet shot.
step on,
you
but
know?
that can't be a step on, right? Because you wouldn't
Yeah.
step on something on your ankle, so you couldn't have stepped on it and got it.
And then
It's a
it
little
goes
higher
up
up
into
than that.
your.
Yeah, so
that-
it's a little higher up than that. So something
got
went
shot.
in there. Look,
I think we
look.
can
think
all
so?
agree she got shot.
Yeah. So
See,
She
I
got
don't
shot.
know.
The doctor said she got shot. They pulled out the doggone bullet fragment. Goodness gracious.
But you can't find the bullet fragments.
They
And
pulled
that's
out
evidence.
Lord Jesus.
Leah,
So
I
I
have a
did hear
legal
that.
question.
But yeah, go ahead, Devontae.
Just as I know you're not a juror, but just your legal like your thought process. Right now it seems like we're debating Megan's testimony, but do you think that her testimony outweighs the physical evidence of the gun being shot, police officers having evidence that the gun was still warm, so we know it was fired within that time? Do you think the idea of the defense using she's lying in her testimony, not even lied in her testimony, but more so has lied before her testimony versus the physical evidence? Do you think the physical evidence is going to play a little bit more versus her testimony, I should say?
It has to, because otherwise the prosecution wouldn't have much to argue on. You know what I'm saying? Like if they went based upon her credibility alone, they're in trouble because she's lied to them and to the police and to the media. So we can't go with her credibility alone. We have to go with the evidence. So I'm just wondering what evidence are they speaking to other than, obviously her foot, right? But then the things that they pulled out the foot, they don't have anymore. It's disappeared. So why is that?
But do you think we would need that though? That's what I'm trying to say. I mean,
to prove that that's what was pulled out.
But
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Do you actually physically need the bullet fragments to show that she's been shot at? Because technically you could still get evidence from the crime scene that they shot at her. It's not that she's been shot. They could still even charge for the attempt of trying to shoot her. So it wouldn't even matter if it did get in her or not. He still fired the gun at the end of the day and still fired it illegally.
But we're saying he. And my thing is,
he or she.
Testimony of the doctors as well.
Hey, Kelly.
Okay, so the charges are an unregistered firearm in the vehicle. Lock him up. Done.
Yep.
Send him on. Send him on.
I mean, that's clear. That's clear. We're not even debating that.
Right. Carrying a loaded firearm.
He did that. Okay, clear.
If
he
you
he admits it's his gun, so we can. He already on that charge. So let's get to the last one. That's what we're debating, right? We're debating the last part. So we're not debating the other two. We know he did the other two. So regardless, we need to understand he's still going to jail and he's still getting
let me
deported
ask
regardless.
you this.
Hold on,
Let me
if
ask
I
you
may,
this.
hold on, because Devontae actually asked me a question a minute ago, and I haven't answered it yet. And you're
Thank
asking
you.
me about whether or not, I guess, weighing Megan's testimony against the physical evidence.
Yes.
Repeat the question for me, so I make sure I answer it.
So I'm trying to, because I feel like what we always forget is the jury can be whatever, whoever, they think how they want to think. So it really falls down on them. But in your legal understanding, do you think that the physical evidence in which they have versus Megan's testimony, do you think which one outweighs more? Like, I should say, do you feel like the prosecution and the physical evidence they have is better for them versus the defense using that Megan is a liar through the testimony?
Okay, kind of like using like actual physical objects, testimony.
Yes.
I think and in any case, so really in this one, it can go either way because I have to first say I don't know what the physical evidence is, and so but what I'm understanding is that the bullet fragment that was in her foot was removed and it's not, nobody knows where it is.
It's missing.
It's missing.
But they do have other bullet fragments from the crime scene.
Okay. So they have that from the crime scene so they can actually, match up. They're experts and know all about, the ballistics and stuff, how to get the show. But yeah, I think it depends on the particular juror that's in the jury box that day, and that's why before a case you have Gardaya, your jury selection. So and just speak hypothetically, so if there was a lot of physical evidence, you probably want to pick a jury that was very statistical and hard on facts. Well, if it was more, if you wanted to emphasize her testimony, get that emotional part of it, you may lean more towards women or even gay men. So there are all these, these very demographical things that you want to get out of your jury. So if you want to do hardcore evidence, you want to get, white male, staunch white male. And so that's where you pick out your jury, right? And so I don't know the jury makeup. However, so generally, yes, both sides are really as important. It seems to me because being impeached on I think understand, and so once your credibility shot, it's shot. But we have to remember she's still a celebrity, and they may not know the facts of the case, but the jury may have heard her. They can still be on the jury and know, right? You saw Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. So in this case, I think, but from what I'm hearing from y'all, it seems like Megan's testimony, and especially the prosecution's opening statement with the dance bitch, is that what he said? I mean,
yes,
so you already so you already got me locked in. Like, well, who this bitch? And why we want her to dance? And then she gets on the stand and testifies to all of this, and so it's like, God, there's a lot going on. The physical evidence, I think, is only going to show what he shot her, or like, what do they want to prove with that? I wonder. It's only going to show what he shot her.
So can I ask a question though? Let me ask.
Hold on 1 second. Let's let Callie jump in.
I'm confused actually about a couple of things. As far as this physical evidence, is the question as to whether or not she was shot at all? Because I don't think that's you know what I mean? Like I think
that's my point.
Like something hit her foot. And like what happened to her foot if she wasn't shot? He's never to tell anybody that. Also, here's another thing. This thing about them saying that they had this relationship is it now that Megan is now saying that they've now had this relationship, so she's changing her story? Because I just logged in, so I missed part of it.
Megan.
Yes. Yeah.
Megan, what the defense is saying is she's not a trust. She can't be trusted. Basically, she lied about the relationship. She requested this Gail King interview, and then she lied right after the interview. She told the
where I'm getting lost. People keep saying she lied about the relationship. How did we come to this conclusion? Is she now saying that they had a relationship?
Yes. Right
yes,
after
in her testimony,
that interview, she told the prosecutors, yes, we were having sex.
Because I was confused. I was like, wait a minute, what happened?
Same here. I feel you.
So she's now saying
Megan is really a brick house. I don't know if Torey has
not a brick house.
She's what, like 5'8", 5'9", big, beautiful woman. I don't even think that Torey knew what to do with Megan.
Did the finish? Look,
Yeah, she's
did it
5'10".
actually
Well,
make
he
the
knew what to do
penetration?
more than once, evidently.
But they got a gun though, and so yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted the I hate to say the Jews. I mean, but like the this outside of the testimony courtroom, like so that I know these yeah. So who's saying if child?
You're
What's the
going
boy?
in and out legally.
Oh, I
Something's
am.
going on with your thing. You're going in and out.
Yeah.
All right. Hang on.
Wait, so his charges are
Is that
assault with
how that?
No, you still going
Go ahead,
on.
Tracy.
no. So his charges are assault with a semi-automatic, carrying a loaded one, and then an unregistered firearm in a vehicle. Is the 3 that he has. So in my mind,
Okay.
fine. You don't get for the assault. Fine, whatever. Give him on the other 2 and get him out of here. Just deport him. See, it's problem solved.
And can I ask this question? Then I really do want to step down, but I just want to ask this question to consider. Look, I'm not a fan of Torey Lanez. When I've seen him in interviews, he's been nothing but a complete jerk. That's what I've seen, right? But I don't want to see anybody who goes through the justice system and doesn't have a fair trial, and then and be blamed for something maybe they didn't necessarily do, even if they are a jerk. And that's why I suggest that we really do look at all of the evidence laid out. My question was going to be, if we were to look at he and Kelsey, who really had the motive in that moment to shoot at or to shoot this woman or shoot towards this woman? Who was really angry and why? Because if we understand what happened that night to be specifically that this is when Kelsey, who was dating this guy first and had been dating him, had just left for a few months because she was dealing with COVID and had just returned and was finding out that night that he was not only sleeping with her, but was sleeping with her best friend. And we're hearing that Kelsey is calling Meg disloyal and all of these other things. Why would Torey be so mad at Megan that he would want to shoot her versus the girl who has been scorned by her best friend multiple times and is finding this out and was physically fighting her?
I can answer that. The defense is going to say, hold on one second, Callie. The defense is going to say that the same could be said for him. She admonished his rapping abilities, talked bad about him to the point where he exposed all this. So he was angry enough to basically put Kelsey's bodies on Front Street, put Megan's bodies on Front Street. And we do know that all it took for him to attack Jada Pinkett's boy was him not dapping him up when he passed by. So he does have a history of being violent and crazy if he doesn't get his way. So both could be true, right?
Both could be, but that's my point. And because both can be true, we've put all of our eggs in one basket. We know that both of them had residue on their hands. We know both of them were angry. We know that she, if in my opinion, has more of a reason to be angry than he does. I'm not saying he didn't shoot at her. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we've all jumped to this conclusion that Meg is telling the truth when she's done nothing but been proven to be a liar multiple times before the trial started, and now that she's on the stand telling us she lied. And that's all I wanted people to consider.
And I really want to get to It's Me MK, because we're not going to be on here forever, and you've been waiting patiently. It's Me MK.
I just think this is all a hot damn mess. They're all lying. The truth is somewhere in all those lies, but the fact of the facts, Megan got shot. Either she got directly shot at, or the ground was shot and the bullet fragments landed in her foot, but a gun was fired and she got injured somehow. And like you said earlier, Torey has displayed a history of having a short temper and reacting violently. Now, the chat had put a really good comment a while back that although Kelsey and Megan are best friends, Kelsey did have a diss track against Megan. If I am your best friend and you get shot at or shot, and I am putting diss tracks out about you, something happened. Kelsey, Megan, and Torey, the three of them know what happened, and that driver, and the security guard, and the bodyguard, and it's all a whole bunch of mess.
Even if he didn't shoot her, what is absolving him of other charges? The only thing that would absolve him of that would be if he could prove that wasn't his weapon. And I don't see how to do that.
I'm not saying it absolves him, but I don't know who mentioned earlier. I think it's the earlier person who came in. You have to prove to the jury without a reasonable amount of doubt that he did this. But so far, there is doubt about.
But there's 3 charges that he's being charged for.
Well, they
and
had
2
to
of them.
add the charge. They had to add one because they knew that he could worm through those other 2.
No, the first 2, I don't think he can really worm out of.
No, that's why they added it.
Now, law enforcement officers and defense attorney, district attorneys don't add charges.
And they
Can't
already
worm
said
through stuff. That's not right.
Wait, what did you just say?
Because there's probable cause.
Legally, something's going on with your mic.
Did she say they don't add charges?
What part did add one?
Still not.
No.
Can't. Yeah, you breaking up. I can't hear you.
I think she was about to say the time.
Maybe take your earpiece out. Maybe just use your phone and use it as like a speakerphone.
Lee, I think you were speaking on when you can submit additional charges to a case. Specifically with this one, I don't think that one could have been put in so last minute in the way in which it was.
I'm not an attorney. I don't know anything about that, but I do personally know people that have going to jail for having firearms, and California does not like for you to have a firearm at all. And
I'm in agreement with you.
Yeah.
Well, there was a defense attorney that just spoke about this recently that was saying that the reason why that charge was added was because there was a good chance that he was going to be able, if they're able to prove that he didn't fire the weapon, they want to get him for something. They want to be able to ensure that because of maybe one thing that they'll be able to get him in another way.
And I doubt he'll just be deported. I think he's going to have to serve time.
He passed on it. We talked about it a little bit earlier. He was offered a plea deal of 1 year and 1 day in jail. And, the possibility of deportation was still on the table. And he said, no, let's take it to trial. Somebody's asking how Corey Hips Gamble is involved. He was at the party, which is kind of weird. You're having a house party with all these celebrities and you invite your 80-year-old mom's 40-year-old boyfriend to the party.
He's the head of their security, though.
People hanging out.
Corey's like security?
He's head of the security detail for the family.
But it also doesn't sound like it was a legitimate party. It sounds like they were just had some people over hanging out.
Kris Jenner solidified this man and gave him a job as head of security?
No, he was head of security and became her boyfriend.
I thought that he worked in some type of management capacity for Justin Bieber.
I think it dealt with security.
Managing the security, maybe.
Now that I did not know. Okay.
Yeah, that's the background. He does security for like celebrities and corporate and stuff. But the reason why he's being called is because there's an alleged story being told that Kylie asked her to leave, which I don't believe. I just think they're just saying anything to confuse the jury and to make it seem like Megan is somehow not a victim, but she clearly, something happened to her foot.
She's a witness, though. Kylie's a witness.
What happened to her foot? To me, all of this is bogus. All of this is a smokescreen.
But Kylie's on the witness list for the defendant. Kylie and Corey. They're calling them because they know the testimony that they're going to give, and that was that Megan
But to
was
me,
asked to leave.
that's completely irrelevant. That has nothing to do with anything.
Well,
Like
they're
I
going
said, throwing anything out there to try to make the jury not like her, but it does not change what happened to her.
It may not change what happened to her, but what it may show is establish their perhaps emotional state at the time, what led up to them being kicked out, what argument was happening, and then how that followed into the car and ended up with her getting bullet fragments in her foot. No one is disputing that she got shot. What is being disputed is what happened that led to her being shot.
So you're telling me that this was Kelsey's weapon? See, that's another thing.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't matter whose weapon it is.
Yes,
if I can grab your weapon, if I can grab your weapon and shoot, I can.
Hold on, really quick. I wanna fact check. It says Corey Gamble is actually a talent manager with industry giant Scooter Braun, the agent behind A-list artist Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande. So he was,
I think, right?
he was a talent manager, not like security detail.
Well, he's security now, so I guess he took a demotion or a promotion. I don't know.
Oh, this is off topic, but do we think that Corey's body is natural? Is he using?
It's unnatural. It's
Is it like? Is he using
unnatural.
Skims, or
He
is it like a
It's Skims.
BBL?
He is just naturally fit.
Oh,
Yes, that's natural, baby. That's that thick.
is he like that dude that was on that season of Girlfriends that had the wide hips?
Hips, yeah.
Like Tim Norman. Them
La,
hips.
la. Yes. Very thicker than a thicker.
I guess what my thing is, if I'm looking at the 3 charges that are up for them to think of, what happened prior to leaving makes no difference, right? Because unless someone there said, "Oh, I seen this person with their gun," then maybe. Because outside of that, everything that happened prior to them being in the vehicle doesn't actually matter, because it has nothing to do with the charges that the person is facing. Because essentially, if we take the assault with a gun off the table, right? If we don't look at that and we just look at the other 2 charges, it's literally having an unregistered firearm and having a loaded firearm in a vehicle.
Yes.
Those are the 2 charges. So now is the question we're going truly that's up for debate is, whose firearm is it, right? Because if I have this unloaded firearm, like, whose firearm is it, right? And then you'll be able to figure that out. Kelsey, you can figure it out. What, the driver, the bodyguard. So, we're figuring that piece out and then unloading a firearm. So it's like, I think it turns into, are they calling hips because they knew what Torey's defense was trying to be, which is, I'm going to throw everything out there possible, including what happened at the party before, to try and get ahead of what it is that he is trying to say, which seems to always be how this is I'm trying to get ahead of everything that he keeps throwing out. Because, not to be funny, she could have slept with the entire industry. None of that actually mattered.
Exactly.
Because I don't understand how I slept with this person 2 years ago, and you are just finding out that me and them slept together at this party today.
No,
with
they slept
multiple
together
people.
that week.
No, because remember, she didn't just say Torey. It was Torey, the baby, and who was the other guy who said no, he didn't do it?
See, this is what I'm getting confused.
Him.
This is exactly there's what Meg said, and then that's what these attorneys are saying. And I personally believe that these attorneys are just saying anything to confuse people.
Yep, that's good.
Correct. So
Good stuff.
if we're taking the, Torey's attorney said Meg slept with these 3 people, all behind Kelsey. All of this didn't happen that same week, that same day, because according to the baby, they had slept with each other a year prior to that. So clearly that had been over a long stint of time. So now we're saying that
I thought the
Kelsey
baby
didn't
said
know
that
that.
he slept with her the day before she made that announcement.
The
Didn't
baby
he
said
say
he
that?
starts.
I
Listen,
really hate
I
that
don't
we're
believe
talking
it.
about the men that this woman has slept with.
and that,
I really
see,
don't.
Mims, that is my point. We have now
Most,
made it to she
yeah.
slept with all these people, right? So this is why Kelsey was mad. So this is why Kelsey had motive to shoot her. So then there's that. So that's the one story we're getting there, which has nothing to do with the charges that you're facing, which is who had it, who shot it, who discharged it, where did this all come from? It's one of those things where if I can deflect to anybody or anything else, then oh my gosh, you're not going to find me guilty. And that's the of course the stance that Torey is going to take, where
But you would have to
if
also be saying that that weapon belonged to Kelsey and be able to somehow create some type of reasonable doubt that it did. And I
They're
don't.
trying to do that. I mean,
yeah, because they both had
we're gonna have to close out soon, but they're trying to do that. They're saying that that gun was underneath a woman's Louis Vuitton purse underneath Megan's seat. So they're trying to cast doubt that the gun was his, and that's the way that they're going.
And that's
But really quick, hold on, because we really will have to close out. So I'm gonna do a roundtable really quick, and you just tell me where you're at, who you are siding with, or even if you are abstaining from siding until you have more facts. Because I definitely will do this again, maybe every couple days, and roundtable it out. So Kadi B, where are you at, really quick?
Based off of Tory Lane's history, he is definitely the most obvious and likely suspect of who shot Megan. Kelsey, I don't know. I feel like there's something about her that's missing from this situation. So I don't think that she's entirely innocent.
A rap career?
Oh, ooh. So I don't think she's entirely innocent, but I mean the guy will maul you for not shaking his hand. So I'm gonna have to lean on the fact that Torey is guilty.
Devontae?
I'm gonna throw a curveball at the end. Let's say Kelsey did shoot Megan. Let's say she did magically. I don't believe that, but let's say she did. Legally, just by how the prosecution has been working and how the police have been working, they know that is Tory Lane's gun. So regardless of the fact, they wouldn't have just added that last third charge just last minute right before trial if they didn't have such soundproof evidence within that. And even more so, to add to that, to have all of that evidence, you could say, let's say Kelsey did shoot. Tory Lane still has the weapons charge for having that illegally. Firing the weapon, let's say Kelsey, did shoot. Once again, that's still his gun. There are parents and people who carry their guns illegally and have them out, and someone else fires that firearm, and you can still go to jail for assault. So regardless, he would still go for the third charge. And once again, if Kelsey still fired it, he still would have gotten an accessory charge for the assault.
So where are you siding? You think that Kelsey did it?
No, but I'm just going to give it to everybody. Since everyone believes Kelsey did it, I still want to prove the fact that it's still Tory Lane's gun, so it would still be on him in all of the charges.
So you're abstaining. We're okay. JC.
Deport
You want to
him.
deport him. I know.
I don't understand. Deport him. Let's be honest. He's had multiple brushes with the U.S. legal system over time. To me, it's a pattern. So he had a gun charge in 2017, and he got that dropped down, and he did the little thing, so he didn't have to worry about that. So he didn't get deported. He's had a history with women. At this point, your prior acts, that's like me. That's like someone's telling. That's like Mims. If Shan would have said, "Oh my gosh, Tracy came up to me and she punched me in the face," you would probably believe it because I have a history of assault. So that would make sense. If we're going by someone's prior history, you've had prior gun charges, you've had prior history of putting your hands on people. I'm just saying, it seems to make sense to me. We could do us all a favor and just send him back to America's hat
Tracy,
and be
I
done with
know
him.
I know I'm not supposed to retort, but really quickly, I don't know how true this is. Somebody said, or multiple people said in the chat, that Megan also had a
That's right.
DV conviction
Hmm.
with a firearm. I don't know if that's true, but I can
I
look
don't
it
know
up.
anything
It's not
about
on
it.
trial.
I
think
thought it was a knife or something. I didn't think it was a
not understand.
firearm.
It's not him versus her. It's this.
It-
That's
Yeah, it's really weird. If she had a DV, would she turn
that
around and shoot herself in the
has,
foot? It's completely irrelevant.
yeah, that has,
Uh,
unless the defense is yes, like Cotty said, that she shot herself, then that's the only way that would be relevant. See, like they're trying to throw out all of this stuff to make you not like her as a person in hopes that people will say that he's not guilty just because they don't like her. Because that's the only defense they have. And that's what makes me think he's guilty.
Okay. Dr. M?
I'm all, I'm so confused now because it's like there's so many. I don't know what to believe, but
Well, luckily you're not one of the jurors.
yes, thank God. I don't think I would help anyone. Um, I'm going to I'm going to say that the truth. We're not. I don't think we're ever gonna find out the real truth about what happened that night. But I will say that Tory will end up getting like 90% of the blame and probably serving time, and eventually Tracy will get what she wants and he'll be sent back to Canada. Um and I don't know if Kelsey would somehow get a charge of being an accessory to crime of some sort. Somehow, somewhere, I think she will be charged with that. And if I was Megan, I did want to say this. If I was Megan, I wouldn't have done that interview she did, because she kind of shot. Sorry for the pun. She kind of shot herself in the foot. Um, yeah, she shouldn't have done that, because at the time she did it, I thought they're gonna use this against you. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I'm gonna leave the studio. It was nice talking about this, but it's 2 o'clock and it's 1 o'clock in the morning in London, and I'm falling asleep. But it was nice talking to everyone about this.
All right.
So
Well, thank you, Dr. M, for coming
you're
up. We
welcome.
appreciate it. Have a good
Bye.
night. Get
Good
some rest.
night.
Don't be
Bye.
roaming the streets of London town. Um, where are we at? Callie, and then it's me, Lenore, and Legally. We'll close us out.
Oh,
Anything?
well, I just wanted to say that I feel like, people are getting a little bit too caught up in what defense attorneys are saying and almost repeating these things that they're saying as though these are facts, but they could just literally be things that have been made up to confuse people. I mean, I'm surprised the judge is even allowing some of this stuff because it's completely irrelevant. But at the end of the day, that still does not mean that they're going to be able to prove that that was not his weapon. And that is the only way that he's going to escape, because he's being charged with other things. So once I saw that other charge, I was like, it's over. It's no sense even following this at this point.
Okay. So, I mean, that sounds like you'll be back in a couple days with us when we get more facts.
Yeah.
It's me, MK.
All right. I get where Callie's coming from, but the defense's job is literally to discredit the other side. So they are going to dredge up every little itty bitty nasty thing about Megan that she's done to discredit her. That is their job. And it's the prosecutor's job to then rebuttal that. I'm just here for the tea, to be honest with you. I want to know all, like, who did what to who and when and why. I'm just here for the tea. But the fact of the matter is, she got shot. Just figure out who did it. Was it Torey? Is it Kelsey? Is it both of them? Is it none of them? Was it the driver got fed up with their arguing and shot her? I don't know, but I'm here to find out.
I'm with you, MK. V. Lenore?
I was just gonna reiterate what I said earlier. It's not that I believe that something didn't happen to Meg, or that someone didn't shoot towards her. But a part of me wonders about what the motive would be, for one, for either of them. And was it a matter of, I'm mad, I'm grabbing a gun, no matter who that person is, and then did the other person try to get that gun out of their hands, and then accidentally the weapon goes off? I don't know what really transpired, and because I don't know what really transpired, it makes it very difficult for me to lay it on any one person, when I know two people had access to the gun and two people had gunpowder residue on them, and everybody was angry. The only person that looks like they may be innocent in this whole thing is the driver, the driver / security guard. So I'll just be sitting back waiting to see what happens. I just want, I want all the facts to come out so that we can get closest to the truth. So thank you for letting me up on your panel.
No, I mean, that's when I say open panel, I mean open panel. There's no right or wrong answers. Legally, before I jump to you, I just want to say thank you to Michelle. I'm just now seeing this. If you are still on, she sent me $100 to
Awesome.
help with the baby. So I'm gonna pass this $100 on to my friend. Like I said, she gets out of the hospital or the facility on December 16th. That was super generous, and she's done this a few times already. So thank you so much. I'm not gonna say your screen name because I've already said your real name. So you got to take your real name off this Cash app. But thank you so much. It's so appreciated, and I'm sure it'll go a really long way because it is Christmas and she hasn't worked. So thank you so much. Legally.
Awesome.
Hey, well, thank you for having me on Men's with your cute self. And thank you to all the panel members. I really enjoyed our conversation. Who am I rooting for? I'm rooting for the evidence, and I'm very excited about this case in particular because I know nothing, and so I feel like a juror. Where I'm going to get the evidence, from you and get the facts and all. However, I also get, like I said, the extraneous details that add another layer to this that makes it, really interesting in pop culture for something like this to happen. And so I'm excited to see what else happens. And I also, before I go, I wanted to apologize to V for letting my unbridled passion for the law overcome me and raising my voice. And I should have thought more about us having different backgrounds and respecting what yours is, and just letting my love of the law not overtake me like that. So to you, I sincerely apologize for raising my voice.
Legally, this was minor skirmish. The stuff that goes on my channel, this was a minor skirmish. No need to apologize. I think that you and V probably were both just passionate, and that's why that's why it took a
like
turn.
Major, honey. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I do not get out of character on camera.
It's okay. It's more than fine. But no, I really appreciated your viewpoints because you do have a law background. Yeah. So anytime I'm doing this, you are more than welcome to come up and give your opinion. Even though you're not, technically a lawyer, you have that degree and you are knowledgeable of the law.
It's so like, give legal advice, but I can give legal education and information.
And hit me up on Instagram to find out how to take your name off your Cash App. This was a really good one, guys. I did not expect it to go on for 2 hours. I did release my second part to my Tita interview where Mia was exposed for all her lies from Potomac. So I will link that here, but it is on my channel. Check it out because Tita was no holds bars, just like the ladies and gentlemen on this panel tonight. I'm going to try to do this again in a couple days once we get more information from the court case. I will see you guys later. I got a baby to go see. So,
all right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, y'all.